What's up everyone, in this video we'll learn to create a UI button with staying pressed system. So let's get started. In Unity I only have a scene with skybox. As you can see, when I play the game it's only a skybox, nothing else is going on. By the way, you can download this skybox for free from the asset store. Now there are two ways to implement a button which will detect if the button is touched for a long time or if it stayed touched, and I will explain both the ways in this video. And I must mention that the script way is much better than the UI way, but it's up to you, and both are very easy. So let's start with the UI one first. In the scene, let's create a canvas, and inside the canvas I will add a UI button. Increase the size of the UI button so we can see it clearly. Maybe change the text size. Okay, here is our button. Now what we want to do is we want to add a component to the button game object. The component would be event trigger. Now this component enables the on-click events. We only need to create 3 events, but that to work we also need a script. Let's create a new script and give it name, any name you like, or if you already have a script then you can use that one. I'm gonna give it button touch for now. So create a new script and open it up in Visual Studio. If I can bring my Visual Studio here. Now what we need is a few things to check if the button is pressed. For that I will create a bool which will check if is button touched, and by default you can set it to false, it's up to you. And we will create 2 methods. To keep things simple, I will create 2 methods. The first one would be public void is, just give it name touched, and here we want to make sure that is touched is equal to true. And we will create another method and we will give it name not touched, and this time it will be false. Now we have the script ready. All we need to do is check if is touched true or false, and if it's true we will debug.log touched. Now if you want to implement some code, you can do so here when the button is kept pressed. For example, calling the fire method or anything else you want. And also we will check if, let's put else, let's debug.log not touched. This will show the message in the console window when the button is not touched. I will save this script and go to Unity. Now we have to click on the button game object and click on to add new event type. First event we need is pointer down, second event we need is pointer up, and third event we need is pointer exit. Now the pointer exit is a great way to identify if the finger is swiped from the button. For example, if user is pressing the button and if they move from the button, it should call pointer exit. This is helpful when you are using the button to automatically fire, and if the player is swiping the finger then it should stop the firing. Anyway, in pointer down we will add a new event by clicking on this plus sign, and as the button touch script is attached to the button game object, we will drag the button game object and drop it right here in the pointer down event, and click on no function and go to button touch, and this time we want to make sure that it's touched. And on pointer up we want to use the same thing, but instead of touch we will use not touched, and same for pointer exit, button touch not touched. If I save the scene, go to console and hit play, you will be able to see that the button is not touched, and when I touch the button it should say touch, and when I leave the button not touched. So if I clear this and click on button, it says no, it says touched, and when I swipe it says not touched. So this is how the event system works. Now there's a better way to do that, and this involves some coding, so we will jump into the script and see how we can implement that. And for that to work, we'll just get rid of this component completely. Go to our script, and here what we want to do is we want to add using Unity engine.event system. After adding this, we can access the event systems. And after that, what you want to do is after mono behavior, add a comma, space, write I pointer, down handler, I pointer, up handler, and I pointer exit handler. Now these systems will throw an error, but to solve this, just click on any and go to show potential fixes and implement interface. If you can't find that option, you can just write this function and Unity will pick it up. You don't need this line though, this just throws an error, so we don't need this. You can write this method and the error should go away. And I will do the same for those two as well. After implementing, I don't think we need those methods, those two, because those methods, the ones we have implemented now, will do the job which touched and not touched were doing. So on pointer down, I want to make sure that the button is touched, and on pointer up, I will just get rid of this line and paste the false statement, and same with this one, and I will get rid of those two buttons. And the update will be the same. You can call the fire method here, or you can do anything you want in the not touched function. Now if we go back to Unity, we don't need the event system at all now. We will just clear the console and go to and play the scene, and you will see not touched, not touched. And when I click on the button, it should say touched, and when I swipe, it should say not touched. And both ways work in the same way, but I believe the script method is much more easier, well, not to write, but I think it works better than the UI one. That's pretty much how you implement a button and check if the button is straight pressed. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments down below, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.